Jesse, do you want to do the intros?
This is my beautiful mug. That's Jordan.
What's up, John? How you doing?
I'm sorry. Hey, how you doing?
Hang on. He's getting a head rub.
And most of you wearing black. I think you're planning to kidnap somebody.
Hey everyone, welcome back, Hardforkers, to our weekly crypto update show with the wonderful Leanne and Jesse. How are you, people?
I'm good. How are you, Jesse?
I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing.
Good.
Kind of starting on a bit of a sad note. Somebody we've had on the channel a couple of times. Really massively enjoyed the guy's company. John McAfee, dead.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts go out to Janice, his wife, who I've spoken to a number of times. A bit of a sad end to one of the more colourful lives of anybody, really. Massive pop icon, champion of the blockchain space. So this is the one that has got tongues wagging. Getting subtle messages from US officials saying, in effect, we're coming for you, McAfee. We're going to kill yourself. And he's went and got a tattoo and basically tweeted, if he was found dead, he definitely didn't kill himself. So that's rather spooky.
Very, very Epstein-ish.
I mean, my question though is, with people out there trying to uncover and expose government wrongdoings on a much higher and much more complex level, not being found dead, you know, what he was doing was by far less of a threat to the American government than what some other people are doing, like a Snowden, let's say, or someone like that.
I'm certainly not thinking that he was assassinated by the American government, but it is kind of sad when you're seeing headlines about him being Epsteined, which does sort of suggest that people do think the American government could be responsible for killing people.
Was today the official day the extradition was announced?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, that possibly pushed him over the edge, but
I'm content in here. I have friends. The food is good. All is well. Know that if I hang myself a la Epstein, it will be no fault of mine. That was in October 2020.
Yeah.
What he could argue is that he had to end it all because they forced him to. So in the end, it was kind of like they did do it. They did it indirectly.
Yeah,
I agree with you. If I was thinking about this morning, if I was him and I was about to be extradited to the US, we know how that all ends. I don't think I'd want to be around either after everything he's been through. So I agree, Jesse. There's a thought in there that in the end, it kind of leads to that anyway, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that one's a week ago. Well, these two are from a week ago. Basically saying he didn't have any crypto, but yeah, it's kind of this last one that is of the most interest, really. You know, what I really liked about the guy was, you know, we need people like this. We need people that whether you agree with them or not, that make noise, that challenge things in society they don't like. You know, without these sort of people, I think we're all somewhat doomed. And you know, he really was a very loud voice on issues of privacy. That was very much the topic of the two shows that we had him on for.
Well, in terms of the crypto world, he personified rebel.
Yeah.
And I think we need more rebels in the world, and
less Karens, more rebels, please.
Yeah. And he may not have been the best example of the best leader for our rebel army, but definitely stirred things up and inspired people. I'm just pissed off I never got to see him eat his dick.
We're $1 million Bitcoin. We need Bitcoin to go to $1 million for him, right?
This is true. On that note, Leanne, we jump in and have a look at the Bitcoin chart?
So I just said to Sean, I'm not really showing any other charts. I'm not showing ETH. I'm not showing alts because the king's in charge and the king is in a massive downtrend at the moment. So we are now we're deep sea diving. Like last week, we were just diving and now we're deep sea diving. So we've got so much pressure from these SMAs, and now we're under some deep pressure on my other SMA here. I'm just going to remove that line and I'm going to remove. So this is really ugly to me. And my next support zone where the most energy is pent up is around the 24K mark. So if we might come up and revisit the 36K zone, and then it's very probable that we do come down to visit this area. I would hope that's the end of it, but hope is not a strategy, as we know. So we've been talking about over the last few weeks how we were positioning ourselves for the possibility of further downside, which none of us want, but a lot of people make money on the downtrend. I personally have taken a break to focus on some other things, and I hedged some cash, and I've got my HODL stack, which I'm really comfortable holding through a downtrend.
Do you think we're still in a range, or obviously we've been in a downtrend now for a couple of months, but do you think that range is still in play? I've been trading it for 2 months with a decent amount of success.
There's always ranges within the timeframes, right? So if you go down to the 15-minute chart, there's lots of ranges to trade. I'm just not interested. So even, according to my chart here, there's a range to play right now when this 7 crosses again, the 77. Yes, to me, you could range up again. But for me, there's no edge for me in this type of trading. But lots of people do it really successfully. So I'm not saying there's not a trade on the lower timeframes. But for me, my 3:43 minute tells me I should go outside and sunbake. I should look at NFTs, and I should look at all these other exciting things in space, and just wait patiently for the next sniper move.
Yeah.
Did I time the top? No. Did I make plans along the way? Yes. I don't think anyone can ever make, there's a lot of people that do make amazing, perfect calls of the tops and bottoms, but I'm interested in capital preservation. And if I don't have to be perfect, but I can make profit. Actually, it's something Chris Dunn and Travis in our Skill Incubator group and Nikki, that we always say, if you can make profit without having to be perfect, that's trading, right? It's the losing that's the problem. So Sean, there's lots of trades to be made in short time frames, but if you're a longer term swing trader like me, there is nothing for me to see here. I'm waiting patiently. You could have bought the dip here and made a really nice bounce play. There's lots of bounce plays trades to make on that last dip, but I wasn't around to sort of catch it. But my next port of call would be around the 24K zone. If we revisit there, it is possible to range, but right now my charts tell me there's so much negative downtrend pressure from my waves that I'm tipping months before this is. I think there's lots of opportunity to snatch some like Matic and that you've got your eye on. Like I've got my eye on Sol. I sold most of my position. I've got a HODL stack, but I've also waiting to trade that and acquire more. So yes, if you've got your favorite cryptos, I think there's nothing wrong with just delegating every time it dips a little bit more to your HODL stack.
Yeah, it's all about your time preference, isn't it? Whether we discussed it the other week, whether you're an investor, trader, speculator, or gambler. But yeah, Jesse, what are your thoughts? How are you playing it at the moment?
So I didn't at first make any moves simply because I wanted to just see if maybe it was just yet another one of these kind of mini dips. But it's really hard to take these projects that you've been fundamentally following, take them out into stable coins just because you're like, yeah, but I've seen it go down, go up, but ultimately it's been going up. But then after a certain amount of falling, of free falling, you're like, well, you're like, if this keeps going for a while, I guess I should just bite the bullet. And it's not really even biting a bullet. You're just putting it into stable coins, right? It's not like I'm selling it or losing I'm not getting rid of my position. So, and it was like Stefano said in your last episode, it's like there's other things that are working right now just fine. And if you look at the fundamentals of everything, it's all positive. So, you know, you gotta take the down, you gotta take the hit, you gotta take the L and move and wait for it to come back, because it will come back.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the three of us have taken pretty active positions in the Axie Infinity market. It's great to have you on board with us on that front, Leanne.
I can't believe I'm saying that I am. I'm very much into it.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, the capital inflows into the space, you know, even compared to a year ago, they're hugely significant. I think it's easy to get freaked out by this price action. It's also a wonderful opportunity to see which projects are really holding up a wee bit. I know you're somewhat of a fan of Solana. That hasn't taken the massive hit that some of the others have. I'm looking at maybe moving back into that. Any thoughts on Solana, Leanne?
Yeah, I've got some thoughts. I'll just bring it up.
You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up.
We're just
You
gonna
got
watch
to
this
pump
clip.
it up, don't you know? Pump it up.
Go
You
Sam.
got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up.
FTX
You
Stadium.
got to pump it up, don't you know?
Why don't we all switch to Solana?
You got to pump it up, don't you know?
Where's my fucking airdrop, Solana? I just danced for you for 2 minutes.
Part 1.
Part 1. Okay, well, this is just dropped today. They've
Yeah.
sponsoring the Major League Baseball umpires, Jesse.
And he bought the arena, right? FTX Arena.
Yep.
Which,
So,
I mean,
and now we've got the umpires sponsored.
that is significant for sure, in that, you know, people will see that and start to learn more about it. That's probably the best side of it, right? But I mean, you know, FTX probably has a fuck ton of money, and this stadium's like, yeah, we like money, give it to us, and it could just blow over after that. But I don't know. Let's see how well advertising works, right? Maybe this will bring some people in the baseball world into the crypto world.
Everyone getting very excited. Look, I don't doubt for a second that there is a large amount of institutional money coming into the space. I think, you know, the clarity around regulation and Bitcoin is what's holding a few back. Obviously, the volatility in the market has possibly freaked a few of them. And for that reason, I don't really think the whales are going to muck around too much here. In my opinion, this is a game of taking as much retail money as possible by those guys. Hence this, you know, this bounce in the range we've had for a couple of months. I'm still very, very bullish. I entered a long on BYBIT today. And if you are an experienced trader, please use our link below. Look, you know, I kind of like where we're at right now. You know, with the three of us are in there using Axie Infinity. We're seeing massive growth and those type of things. The play to win space, DeFi goes from strength to strength. Don't freak out, people.
And speaking of strength to strength, you forgot to mention our new savior, the volcano president.
Oh, absolutely.
Look how pretty these. Look at this.
Are they actual? Oh no, that's not.
These are proposed. You know, these is our mining rigs. Just the fact he posted it, I just got really excited.
Here's a sneak peek at my computer graphic images.
Look at it all mining. It's awesome. Rainbows and stars and birds and volcanoes. And
brilliant. So look, short and sweet today, people. We'll be back tomorrow with our live show. So come and join us for that, especially if you're involved in the play to earn Axie Infinity space. But yeah, look, finishing up today, here's a clip from one of our previous interviews with John McAfee. He will be missed. I rated the guy very highly. We need people like that on this planet. Love him or hate him. He spoke his mind. Final thoughts, people. Jesse.
Yeah, rest in peace, John. And I hope you can move on to a place where your property is yours.
He just reminds me, as you said, love him or hate him. He stood for speaking the truth about a lot of things, the reality of a lot of things. He reminds me that if you are silent about things that are disturbing you about governments, that just makes you one of the robot plebs that are going along with things that in history have not turned out so well. So I've been pretty upset with people's silence of late, or shouting down people that do speak. So yeah, he reminds me of speaking up.
Yeah, absolutely. On that note, take it out for us, John McAfee. Cheers, everyone. See you next week. Bye now.
We need to take upon our shoulders an obligation to the rest of the world, the people who do build the cars and the factories, not to be co-opted by the government, by existing top-down industry, by any centralized authority. We owe it to the rest of the people to take the responsibility onto our own shoulders. We are the wizards, do you understand, of legend, where those few who had the magic wand, who could do miracles, break into government programs that no one else can do. We are the new wizards. And if we, which should be the wisest and most capable, cannot see that we are in a dangerous situation where governments and financial institutions and regulatory bodies are trying to stop the blockchain and cryptocurrency from being used by the people for the people. They don't want to stop it for governments creating crypto, because we're going to have the crypto dollar in 2 years. I promise you, you don't have to use it. Civil disobedience, people. Some of you may smoke weed. It's illegal in some of your states, and yet you do it. Civil disobedience. We must all in technology be civilly disobedient and do what we know is right for this country and this